Hello, Clark team. The next item on our list of videos is how to create a word search. As with the crosswords, this is a two-part process. So the first one is creating the actual game, and then the second part is entering it into a separate portion where these instructions are added and a featured image is added so that it can be show up in this filtering environment. So the first thing we're going to do here, as always, is come back here to the back end of the website. And as with the crosswords, we need to come all the way down here in our menu to this 5 HP content. We'll go ahead and click on that. You'll see a list of the puzzles that have been entered into the site. And if you needed to edit one of these, you would just click into it. But we're going to show how to add a new one. You can see here that the word search is called Find the Words, so that's the first thing to know. So we'll come right up here to add a new puzzle. And there is a big long list, a lot of items in here to look through. And so we're just going to start by searching for the one we want. Makes it that much easier. Just click on that. And it starts us off with a blank option here. So first item to do is to give it a name. This is a name that we want to be able to correlate to the other part where it's going to show up here. So, you know, we would want it to be close to or the same as this name that's going to show up on the front end, so that if we need to edit it later, we can easily find it. So let's just call this we don't need to worry about what's here. Then right down here, you can see they've shown you an example, and really you just enter all of the words that you want to show up in the word search, separated by commas, no spaces. So you'll see I've just entered a few of the terms in here. The rest of this you don't even need to worry about. So really it's just title and a list of your words. You click Create right here. And as with the other ones, it shows you a preview of what that is going to look like, and generally speaking, you know, how big the grid is and how many words are in the list. This one is not a very long list of words, and none of the words are that long themselves, but I think generally speaking, if there's words that are over 8 letters long, 8 to 10 letters long, and, you know, probably a maximum of 10 words in the list. So if it's longer than that, if the words are longer than that, and there's more words than that in your puzzle, you'll probably need to create a mobile version too. There's no way to know for sure if it's going to work on mobile until you just try it out. But if so, you'll need to create a second version for mobile, and we'll show you where to enter that in the second part. So as with the crosswords, now that your puzzle is created, you'll need to note what the puzzle ID number is. This one is 54, and I'm just going to note that down for myself here. And so for our second part, we need to go up to Games. And we just go here and we say Add New. Now here for the title, we're going to want to, as mentioned before, make sure that the title matches in some way to the one that you put in for the game when you created the game, so that they can be correlated. And you know, when you want to edit one, you know which one to go edit. So, I think this one we called Careers Word Search, even though it's not. And it starts asking what type of game it is. If it's a coloring book, no, it's not. We want to say Other. And then over here, since we called it Careers, we'll say Careers here on the side. And for the game type, we will just come right down here to word searches. Those are our two categories now we've taken care of. And right here for our game ID, we're going to go ahead and enter that number for the puzzle that we created. Right here is where we add the printable PDF. I think you guys have a pretty good handle on that already, but we'll make videos for that if needed. Here's where you would add the file. If it's already uploaded, you'll see it here, or you can, of course, come to the Upload tab and then browse to wherever that is. We're just going to go ahead and put in a random word search here, since this isn't a real puzzle. We can see that the file's been added here. Here is where our game instructions go. So we'll go ahead and put those in. And then right down here again are the calls to action that show up at the very bottom. So these two rows, for instance. So as I've mentioned before, our logic for approaching this is to do one that's games and one that's content related, and one of those two should probably relate to the same category as what you're already in. So let's start by looking for something in careers. And let's also do one that's games. So renewables games, good enough. And then the last piece is to add the featured image. And again, that is what shows up, so that it shows up with an image for the searchable filter part of the games and activities. So let's go ahead and add one here. I don't have one ready since this is a fake one, so we'll just come in here, and I happen to know this one is the right size. 500 pixels wide by 307 pixels tall is what you want that to be. You can hit Add Featured Image. And this is pretty much ready to go. Now, usually when you'd be putting this together, you wouldn't have the printable piece ready yet, because it usually relies on being able to see the front end. And so what you would want to do is hit Save as Draft. And then that way you can view the game safely. Nobody's going to be looking at it before you have this actual print piece ready to go. But in any case, you can see all of the items that we've added here. We've got the title, we've got the instructions, we've got the purple color coding because we clicked careers on this. We can see our test case word search here that has non-career related words in it. And we can see our row of careers and our row of games for renewable energy, all of which we added in here. We can't look at the featured image in the thing yet because we don't want some of these teachers to see it, but that is everything that I think you need to know about adding a word search to the site. Thanks.